I know you woke up very early this morning, but thank you so much. It's so awesome.
大家好，我是李云平，国会议员。我在台湾生的3岁半来美国，谢谢你今天请我来。I am Congressman Ted Lieu. I was born in Taiwan, came here when I was 3.5. Very honored you invited me today. I want to thank Peter Chen for inviting me to this conference. I apologize that I cannot speak Taiwanese. My parents would speak Taiwanese, but they didn't want me to understand. So today I thought I'd talk about 3 things. I'll share with you my story. Then I'm going to talk about issues related to the Taiwanese American community domestically. And then I'll conclude talking about foreign policy as it relates to Taiwan. My story is the same as yours, or your parents, or your grandparents. My family immigrated from Taiwan to the United States. And when we came, my parents were poor. They went to flea markets and swap meets to make ends meet. We started off living in the basement of a person's home. And after many years, they were able to save up enough money and open one gift and jewelry store in a shopping center. Then they worked hard 7 days a week, saved some more money, opened one gift and jewelry store in a shopping mall. My brother and I would help watch that store because they didn't have to pay us. And then eventually they expanded to over 6 stores. So in my mind, they achieved the American dream. They went from being poor to a home, gave my brother and I an amazing education. He is now a doctor. My parents remind me of that often. And it is one reason I joined the U.S. Air Force on active duty. I believe I can never give back to this amazing country everything that's given to my family. And it's one reason I stay in the reserves. I am a colonel in the Air Force Reserves at Los Angeles Air Force Base. And it's also one reason I'm in politics. I make sure that this dream remains open for people who want to work hard and succeed. After active duty Air Force, I went to the private sector. I was in a law firm for 2.5 years, and then a financial services company as general counsel in the general counsel's office. So I'm a recovering lawyer. And then I entered politics. I was elected to run city council, and then 9 years in the California state legislature. And then with the help of some of you in this room, I was elected to Congress in 2014, and now I'm in my 3rd year in Congress. And in terms of the Taiwanese American community domestically, it is one of the groups in America that makes America great. One of the things that makes this country so amazing is our incredible diversity. And every 10 years, we have this thing we do called the U.S. Census. And I think it's very important that this census reflects the actual diversity of America. So I've worked with different Taiwanese American groups. I wrote a letter to the Census Bureau saying, when you do your census in 2020, you need to expand the number of categories on that form and include Taiwanese American as one of the check boxes. So I also make it a point to have diversity on my own office staff. I have my district director here with me, Nico. He is Latino. In Washington, D.C., I have made it a point that I have at least one staff member who is Taiwanese American. And then we have interns that come to our offices all the time, and I always try to outreach different Taiwanese American groups, and if they have interns that are good, we use them. And so I think it's important that I also do what I say. And then in terms of trade and commerce, there are over 180 countries in the world. Taiwan is America's 10th largest trading partner. That's a pretty amazing statistic. And then in LA County, Taiwan is LA County's 4th largest trading partner. So trade and commerce is very, very important, not just to America, but specifically to Los Angeles County in California. Last night I was at a welcome dinner for the mayor of Taoyuan, and he's visiting. He was telling me how he had recently signed an MOU with the Boeing company to do maintenance in Taiwan. And we're also looking at trying to expand the number of direct flights from America to Taiwan. And continuing to increase trade and commerce is something that I'm going to keep on doing it as long as I'm in Congress. And I was very excited to have been appointed to the Foreign Affairs Committee of Congress. Last year I had this great opportunity to take a bipartisan congressional delegation to Taiwan. We met with Tsai Ing-wen. We visited a lot of different government officials in Taiwan. We went to a military base and also had amazing food. So, as some of you may know, in my hometown, Torrance, the restaurant, Ding Tai Fung, recently opened. Don't tell them I said this, but it just tastes better in Taiwan. And so that was an amazing trip, and to sort of understand some of the economic and other challenges that the new president was facing. By the way, it's so exciting to have the first female president of Taiwan. So in terms of foreign policy, I wanted to sort of tell you my perspective generally about the Trump administration, and then specifically I'll talk about Taiwan. So we've had a number of hearings on the Foreign Affairs Committee on a wide range of different issues, whether it's North Korea or Afghanistan or Syria. And it's become more and more clear to me that this administration does not have a strategy in a lot of these places. And it's even worse than that. They actually will issue very conflicting signals. So I'll give you a couple examples. In terms of Syria, earlier in the year, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson and UN Ambassador Nikki Haley said basically to the world, the people of Syria should decide who is in power, referencing Assad. That was a break from the Obama administration that had the goal of removing Assad. So some foreign policy experts say that Assad took that as meaning the U.S. was okay with him, and then later on in the year he issued a chemical weapons attack on his own people, which was horrific. He had done that several years earlier as well. The United States then attacks Syria, right? A country that has not attacked the U.S. with 59 cruise missiles. And then about a day after that, Nikki Haley goes out and says, you know, we need a regime change in Syria. And then you have Rex Tillerson, essentially on the same day or the day after that, say, no, the people of Syria should decide who remains in power. So this is very confusing to world leaders when they see a 180-degree reversal in U.S. policy and then conflicting statements being issued by top administration officials. You see that with North Korea. With North Korea, you had a series of very provocative statements and actions by the U.S. We sent 2 aircraft carrier battle groups near North Korea. We sent a nuclear submarine. We have done all these military exercises. Our Vice President, Mike Pence, said that the sword stands ready. UN Ambassador Nikki Haley a few days ago says the U.S. has considerable military forces and we will use them if we must. Just yesterday, you had Donald Trump saying he's thinking about doing very severe things in North Korea. And then most recently, you have Secretary of Defense Mattis basically saying, no, we are no closer to war with North Korea because of the ICBM test. So again, it's very confusing, right, to world leaders when they see these very conflicting signals being sent by the Trump administration. And then some of you may follow what happened with the country of Qatar. So we had, a few weeks ago, the Gulf nations of Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Bahrain, and others imposed an economic blockade on the country of Qatar. They were alleging that Qatar was funding terrorism and some other bad things that the country was doing. The President of the United States then, through his tweets, appears to take credit for that, and he supports the blockade. And then simultaneously, you have our Secretary of State, Rex Tillerson, saying, no, these countries should not be doing this blockade. Qatar is an important U.S. ally. We have U.S. Central Command based in Qatar. It's one of our most important bases in the world. And then literally on the same day, you had the Secretary of State again saying, don't do this kind of blockade. And then in the Rose Garden, in the press conference, the president saying, yes, they should do this blockade. So again, this is very, very confusing to people when they see this. And then you see this sort of happen with Taiwan, right? You have our president talked to Tsai Ing-wen earlier. And then all of a sudden when our president realizes that, hey, North Korea is sort of a problem, he tries to get China to do more. So then for a period of time, he's trying to be nice to China, sort of ignores Taiwan. And then, right, this is all within a matter of 5 months. He realizes, I think China's not doing enough, so then he proceeds with an arms sale to Taiwan. And again, the quickness in which the U.S. reverses, or looks like it's reversing policy, is very confusing, and it's very not helpful. Our president has said publicly that he wants to be unpredictable. So in domestic politics, it's probably okay to do that. Really a bad idea to do that with foreign policy. In foreign policy, you want to be clear. You want people to know what U.S. objectives are. You do not want miscalculations. We have men and women in our armed forces risking their lives all over the world. When they do that, they better know what their purpose is in doing it. It better be clear, the objectives better be clear, and the American people need to understand what is happening. And just sort of do this thought experiment. How many of you here during the Cuban Missile Crisis would have wanted President Kennedy to be unpredictable? Right? No one. And so my hope is that as this administration gets older, it's quite young, right? It's only been in a little over 5 months. That they calm down, that their senior officials get on the same page, that they have a coherent strategy in many of these places, and that they stop confusing people around the world, as well as folks in America. And my hope is that when they look at Taiwan, they will support what I support, which is the Taiwan Relations Act. Last term, I went down to the floor of the U.S. Congress and gave a speech that recognized the importance of Taiwan Relations Act. It was on the anniversary of the Taiwan Relations Act. I also support having Taiwan in additional international organizations such as Interpol and the WHO. I have co-authored or voted for congressional legislation that says exactly that. And I also support the arms sale that recently happened, that occurred under Obama, was completed under Donald Trump. So let me conclude by saying thank you for inviting me. I have an open door in my DC office as well as my district office in Southern California, and look forward to working with all of you as we continue to improve our relations between California and America and Taiwan. Thank you.
Not continue our support to Ted Lieu. Thank you.
I got to do one thing. I have a congressional certificate I'd like to present to the Taiwanese American Conference. So if I can present this to you. Thank you. Sure, it says, in recognition and celebration of your commitment to promoting fellowship and mutual understanding within the Taiwanese American community, and with sincere appreciation for your remarkable dedication to preserving Taiwanese culture, tradition, and heritage. Thank you.
Thank you, Ted Lieu. It's very good gesture. 咱今晚要来欢迎咱我想拢袂晓念这个title 吼，做